Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's tech video we will be installing a fork cartridge kit, but before we do that I've got an awesome channel announcement about an upcoming live show here in a week and a half, so stick with us. Just a couple of days ago I posted that video on, it's up here, on how to install a shock on the back of an Indian. And at Rob's Dyno Service up in Gardner, Massachusetts, he gave me a call and asked if I could help him produce a step-by-step video on how to install his new Indian suspension package with the rear shock and the front forks. Well, obviously we just did the shock one. It's up here. So we did that one. And today I'm going to show you the video that we produced for him on doing fork cartridges. Yes, we're doing it on an Indian, but if you own a Harley, you still want to watch this. The process for installing it on a Harley is virtually identical. The inside of the fork looks almost exactly the same. So if you own a Harley and not an Indian, you still want to watch it. All you Indian owners, of course, you definitely want to watch it. It's a great video with a great step-by-step on doing fork cartridges. As far as the announcement goes, Saturday, December 19th at 1 p.m., my good friend Brian Clock from Clockworks is coming on to do a live show with us for about an hour. We're going to talk about all kind of cool stuff. I've known Brian for a long time. He's a super nice guy. We're going to talk about kind of the rise of Clockworks and how he got started in the business. Maybe talk about his favorite motorcycles. Of course, Brian does a lot of charity work as well, and one of his chosen charities is All Kids Bike. I want to talk about that for a few minutes. And then also his brand new addition to the family, well, close to a year now, that's still pretty new, his precious Cargo there, a good looking young man. So we want to find out about Cargo, how he's doing, and Miss Vanessa's doing as well. So I'm really looking forward to that, guys. So please mark your calendars, Saturday, December 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We go live with Brian Clock from Clockworks. So let's get started on the video. Let's install some fork cartridges. Roll it.
This is the JRI cartridge we're going to be installing in the front end of this bike. It is nitrogen charged. This will make a huge difference in the ride quality. You're not going to experience the extreme dive that you get with the stock suspension. The bike is going to track better, ride better, handle better. When you get this, there is basically one adjustment on there, which is the spring preload or ride height. This is already preset from the factory. You should not have to mess with it. Should you decide you want to adjust this, you can adjust for a firmer or slightly harsher type ride. You need to loosen up the set screw right there, and you can tighten this up or back it off. The vast majority of cases, you won't need to touch this. This is just where the nitrogen fill is, so you won't need to mess with this at all. At 25,000 mile intervals, these should be serviced, at which point a authorized JRI suspension person can disassemble this, drain the nitrogen, drain the oil, and service this cartridge. So this trim piece here is actually plastic, so it does not require a lot of effort to remove it. You can typically grab it with your fingers and just pull off. These pieces go into these rubber grommets, so they can be a little snug at times, but be gentle. Now we're going to remove the headlight assembly. 3 bolts, one on each side, one on the top. You can remove the light and unplug it. As you can see by the green fuzzy, it's time to put a little dielectric grease and clean these terminals off. So we can now remove the speaker grills, which these just gently pull off and out. Similar setup as the headlight, comes off by hand. The second speaker grill. We're taking these grills off so that we can access the fairing screw right there in order to remove the outer fairing. On the inside of the fairing, you have one fastener right there. Same thing on the other side. Another one up here, and then the one behind the speaker grill. Yeah. So as you see, I have raised the windshield to its highest position to make it easier to access the fairing screws, which there are 4 of which right here. Easiest way to get at them is with a long ball Allen. Now we can remove the fairing after unplugging the fog lights and turn signals. And there we go. We're going to cut the zip ties holding the fender light wire to the brake line. We can go up and disconnect her. This is the connector for the front fender tip light. And now we can unplug that and pull the wire through. Right. So now we're going to remove the caliper covers. There are 2 acorn nuts right there, and then there is a 10mm screw in the back side of the fender. Now we can remove the cover. You can see the approximate location of the hole for the screw that comes through the back side of the fender. So now we're removing the caliper bolts. Now I'm completely removing the lower bolt. I'm loosening up the top bolt, but I'm going to leave it holding the caliper in place so they don't get in the way when I remove the fender. So now, in order to remove the front fender, there are 6 bolts. 1 lower one here, and then 1 on either side of the fork leg right there. So now that I have the 6 bolts removed, we can carefully maneuver the fender. Now I'm going to hang the calipers out of the way, right off of the engine guard. So I'm loosening up the axle pinch bolts, remove the front wheel. Now we need to loosen the top pinch bolts, which are up in here, the lower pinch bolts, which are on the back side of the fork, the lower triple tree, and then we can remove the tubes. Now we've loosened all 3 pinch bolts. We can now slide the fork leg out of the triple tree, like so. Now we're going to disassemble this fork leg. First we're going to pry the dust seal away. Just pry around. That's going to be disregarded. Now there is a wire clip in place, which we're going to gently pry out. That way you're going to save. Then we're going to remove the dampener screw. So now using an impact gun, we're going to remove the dampener screw. And let the oil out. Now by taking the slider and running it down like that, we remove the fork tube from the slider. Now we can remove the bushing, washer, and seal. This washer we're going to reuse. The seal and the bushing are going to be replaced. Now using an impact, we can pull the top cap. And remove the stock component. We need to save this washer because we're going to use that when we install the new cartridge. So we're going to remove the top cap. So this is the washer that we need to keep, and the rest of this is going to go bye-bye. This part, which came out of the bottom of the lower leg, is also going to be disregarded. When we do this install, we recommend replacing the fork bushings. So to do so, grab a flat blade screwdriver and pry it right off. So after cleaning all the parts that we're going to use, you want to make sure that in this top slider that the copper washer is removed, because we're going to replace that. You do not want to double them up. It will cause a leak. Now we're going to take the JRI cartridge with the top out spring that they provide. We're going to take the washer that we removed from the top of the stock suspension, and we're going to install that into the fork tube. We're going to now take the new fork tube bushing, slide that into the groove. You want to take a little bit of the oil provided and put it over the bushing. Now we can take the slider and install that onto the assembly. We're going to take a new copper crush washer, put it onto the original bolt. Going to apply a little bit of blue Loctite to the damper screw. And then we are going to thread in the damper screw. And then I'm going to bottom this bolt out by hand.
So we get rid of.
Now we can tighten the damper screw. We can take the new bushing. I'm going to take some of the oil provided, put it on the inside of the bushing. We can then take this, slide that onto the tube. Take the large washer, put that on top, and then using the seal driver, install that. Then applying a little bit of oil to the outside of the seal, we can take the seal, slide that over the tube, and again using the seal installer, install that. We're now going to take the retaining clip, reinstall that into the groove, and using a small screwdriver, just push that in place so that it's properly seated. Next, we're going to take the new dust seal, put that on, and install that. We now have to pour the oil into the fork. It is 150 cc's of oil, which JRI is kind enough to give you 2 bottles, 1 for each fork leg, pre-measured. We now pour this in. You need to take the fork tube, move that up and down, and that moves the oil to the bottom of the fork leg. If you don't do this, it will overflow over the top of the tube. You may have to do this 3 or 4 times to get the full quantity of oil into the fork tube. And when you do it slowly, or else the oil will spray out. Now, after putting some oil on the O-ring for the top cap, we can now tighten up the cap. Got to push down on the cartridge. Once you get it started, you can tighten this until it bottoms. We can now torque this top nut to the torque spec of 16 foot-pounds. Now we got both fork tubes assembled. We can install them back on the bike and put it all back together.
back from the ride, and it's phenomenal. This bike is 100 times better than it was out of the factory. So if you're interested, this suspension is only available from Rob's Dyno Service. You can email me at rob@robsdyno.com or call us at 978-895-0441. Thank you.